Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect episode 81. Today's date is February 7th, 2021, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Trying to figure out why I get a stuffy nose every time we start recording the show.
Yeah.
I woke up like 2 hours ago, no stuffy nose, felt fine, was perfect, and then the second I joined a call with you to start talking and going over the show notes, I just felt my nose get super runny and stuffy.
Start yawning.
Start yawning. It's like, man.
The morning voice comes out of me.
Yeah.
For once in a while.
That just makes radio voices so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to figure that out. But other than that, I finished my Steak Farm episode finally. Not State Farm, for those of you who have seen that commercial nonstop for the past couple weeks. But yeah, finished the Steak Farm. It's all good. It's semi-automated, which I really like. And the fact that you can kind of see the process of it. It feels like it's a very industrial assembly line farm, which I think is really cool. It's a little too bricky, and it's a little too lanterny for my taste. But it's not a room you spend a lot of time in.
Yeah.
It's like I literally walk over, bone meal a couple seeds so I can get enough wheat, feed the cows, and walk away.
It's definitely a good layout. Like, you got everything positioned pretty good.
Yeah.
You can see the steak coming in and cooking and everything.
Even refilling the dispensers with bone meal, I just walk over to a minecart, put it in the minecart, hit the button, and I can walk away. Like, that's what I love about a lot of my automated designs. They may not be fully automated, but for the most part, I can walk in, do something, hit a button, and walk away, which is really nice. Other than that, I worked on my villager trading hall design, not building anything yet, not even dug a hole out for it yet. Just pen on paper, laying it out, figuring out what I want in there, how many villagers I want in there. And it's a little complicated. I don't want a ton of villagers. Like, I want less than 8 in this villager trading hall. And I'm thinking one of them needs to be a mason just so I can trade blocks for bricks.
Yeah.
And it's like, which enchantments do you really think you need? And all that kind of stuff. I don't think I want to do carrot and potato farming villagers for emeralds because I did that last season and I didn't really take advantage of it and use it. So it's like, why bother doing it this year? I have the big ugly that just produces a ton of emeralds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I got 2 double chests filled with emeralds overflowing that I'm not using right now.
Oh, I'll take some.
I have a full chest in my wandering trader shop also.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got emeralds for days. Not to mention I've got 4 villagers who will trade iron for emeralds at the same time because I'm overflowing in iron at the same time too.
And you feel like trading carrots, potatoes, pumpkins, melons. You figure that's your easiest go-to item,
right?
To get a bunch in, but it seems to overwhelm your trading activity. You know what I mean? You just get way too many items that you're not going to trade them all those.
Yeah,
it's definitely better to have one of those big uglies.
Exactly.
I love that name.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual name of the farm and who actually made it, but that's what I call it. And the fact that we're not a server like Hermitcraft that just needs the maximum amount of items and efficiency known to man. We're not that. It's like I have something that is maybe 25% efficient as that server, but because I'm usually in the area and usually piddling around doing stuff, it runs in the background and it's not lag intensive because it's so small. So I get my supplies at some point. Villagers can only trade twice in a day anyways.
Yeah.
As long as you keep on top of it, don't go, I need 100 books today. It's like, oh, sorry.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Last thing I did this week was worked on my stream setup. I'm trying to, by next weekend, have my new look stream done. It's basically 1 day a week. I sit down and I go through and I try to clean up and fix something. Like this week, the loyalty badges, I got them done last week, but they look like actual garbage in stream. So I was like, oh man, I gotta fix that. I gotta figure out how to do that. So I had to open up Inkscape because Inkscape takes advantage of vectoring images. So I can turn my original badge size, which was like 800 by 800, and shrink it down to 18 by 18 pixels and it not get blurry and all messed up.
Oh, nice.
So all the loyalty badges have been fixed. Now I'm working on the pre-stream video and some music for the background and stuff like that. So hopefully by next week I'll be all up and running. It'll be nice.
Getting all fancy.
I'm trying to make a good attempt so people can have an enjoyable experience when they're in my stream. I only stream once a week anyways, so if you're there, it better be enjoyable, right?
Right.
But that was it for my week. How about your week?
My week was pretty busy this weekend. Had a busy Saturday.
Yeah?
We started with the stream day. We had our stream day Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's yesterday, actually, to us.
Yep.
But yeah, I noticed I don't know, not much of a streamer. You know, I wanted to do more streaming, but I feel like I can't focus on the game and chat at the same time. It's like my brain won't let me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes I have better days, but it felt like I had trouble keeping up with the chat in stream. There's probably, I don't know, there's probably some videos I could watch to probably help me out with that. But I stream like once a month anyway.
Yeah, I had the same problem when I was starting streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I've done it is when chat's talking, I solely focus on chat, and the game kind of takes a back seat.
Okay.
Because at some point, chat will die. We're not very large streamers. We don't have hundreds of people in our chats. We're lucky to hit the 10 to 15 viewer mark. So at some point, everyone will kind of go into a lurking state, which is completely fine. And I've just found when people go into the lurking state, that's when I can concentrate on the game and really get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, I'm going to do something in the game that's interesting to them, and they'll come back and they'll start chatting again.
That makes sense.
But if you got a super busy chat, you're never going to get anything done.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I only do it once a month either. You know, it's
that too.
You kind of need practice. I didn't shut up the whole time. I just kept talking to myself. Then I realized I don't have to talk to myself. There's people chatting. Oh man, I missed 20 minutes of the chat, you know? And I'm always like, wait, let me see what I miss. And then I noticed I missed things from 20 minutes ago that why, like, do I respond or? Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the whole streaming thing. I want to do enough streams to where I get affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like on my priority list or anything, but it'd be nice to get there and establish myself there at least for now. But I don't know.
Easiest way to do it is a weekly stream, like I said.
Yeah.
That's how I got there. I think you already have, like, the followers you need.
I need one more, I noticed.
Okay. Guys, go to Jimbo's Twitch.
Yeah.
And hit that follow button. Get him there.
Follow me on Twitch. You'll see me once a month. No, hopefully more often.
Yeah, I think if you go once a week, you'll get the time you need, and you'll get the average viewers you need easily.
Yeah, average viewers is decent. I shouldn't have to worry about that.
Mm.
But yeah, there's some other things I need to hit that mark. But besides the whole streaming thing, I did put out a video this Saturday. I finished my storage room.
And it's a pretty storage room.
Yes, you've been in and out of there getting glass bottles, I've noticed. I've been on there so much that I'm getting a lot of bottles, glass bottles.
Oh, I know. My bee farm's almost fully filled. It's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the storage room, I designed everything before I put in the redstone, which is something I rarely ever do. Yeah, I just wanted to put everything in place and to make sure my redstone would fit. And it did. So I went through, put all the redstone in, did a time lapse, and went really well. The longest part about doing the storage room is getting the items in the slots.
Yep.
And organizing everything. And that took like 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I was pushing the episode just because of me trying to gather items that I don't have that would categorize in a certain chest. So that was annoying, but it's done. I'm so happy it's over with, and I can actually go in and out of my storage room without a mess.
I wish you would have told me that earlier, because I could have told you what I do for my sorting system, because I still have blank spots all over the place. And I literally just made a bunch of light gray glass panes and renamed them filter glass. And then whenever I go, oh, I want to put this item here, but I don't have one to put into the slot, I just filled it with filter glass.
Yep.
So that way the system thought there was an item there, even though I didn't really have an item to put there.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. I didn't want to mess with that though. So I just I have so many overflow chests. Not everything's full. I do have a bunch of overflow chests, so just waiting to, when I gather up enough items, I can make another chest. Organize it. All this organizing I'm doing. It's driving me nuts.
I was about to say, I need to go back into my sorting system and reorganize a bit. Now that I've gotten so many items, basically every time I run it, there's an overflow of an item somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to reprioritize what items I want in those chests.
Right. How many of what item? It's a pain.
Yeah, because it varies build to build. It's like, man, like I don't know how many black stone brick walls to do the Wither Effect tunnel or whatever. It's just like, I don't even have that in this chest.
Or you overdo it and have way too many brick walls left over.
Yeah.
And then you got 117 coming out, and that might have to go in the storage system.
Yeah.
Depending on when we update. I'm sure we'll still be there.
Lady Agnes mentioned, I think it was on a Ask Mojang video, that this update is taking a bit longer than previous updates because they're having to do a lot of coding for terrain generation and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it might be a little bit.
I'm okay with that.
Speaking of 117, we've got a new snapshot. Should we go over the news?
Let's do it.
All right, so this is snapshot 21W05A. There was an 05B that came out like a day after, and that's to fix a couple critical bugs. Nothing feature-wise changed. If you want, you can go watch a couple of YouTube videos. Like Exuma does a good one that shows the bug in process. It's been fixed.
Mm-hmm.
We're not planning on going over it. Just know that it's fixed. We're just going to go over the features because that's what we normally do. We don't usually go over a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
New features in 21W5A is azalea bushes, as well as flowering azalea bushes, added cave vines and glowberries, added drip leaves, added decorative blocks for the upcoming Lush Caves, hanging roots and rooted dirt, added moss, and added Spore Blossom. We're obviously going to go into these features a little bit more, but let's talk about azalea bushes and flowering azalea bushes because that doesn't have its own section right now. Do you like these new plants, Jimbo?
I do. They're definitely different from your regular bush or leaf block, as you could say. Those were your bushes. These might take over that as a bush, but
I think they will.
Yeah.
So the azalea bushes and flowering azalea bushes, I've seen people use them to create tables with like tablecloths hanging on it. Looks really cool. I hope we get more flowering bushes in different colors. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
But I really like these. And what they don't mention is the azalea leaves. Like there's a full-on leaf block with azalea flowers on it.
Yes.
In the Minecon video, it looked like it was on oak tree. Mm-hmm. Like they were just using an oak log. So I don't know if we'll get any kind of wood type from it. But, I mean, we got a new leaf type too. It's really going to be nice for landscaping, this update. I've mentioned it time and time again. I'm not excited for the cave part. Except for maybe the deep dark, that kind of intrigues me. But all the different little items we're going to get to do some landscaping with, that has me excited. Especially considering I'm bad at landscaping. So the more variation I can throw in there, the better.
Yeah, what you want the most are different kind of dirts and grasses, and they're giving you that.
Mm-hmm.
The rooted dirt is just another variation of the dirt, except a little different. It's nice to have those different variations of dirts.
Yeah, it looks like, what's the name of the dirt you mix with gravel? I'm blanking here.
Coarse dirt.
Coarse dirt. It looks like coarse dirt, but it has these little like veins in it that are supposed to be the root. So basically, if you take a vine and create it the same color as coarse dirt and put it on the coarse dirt, that's what it looks like. And it looks very cool. I like it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a slab dirt variant. If we can get one of those, that'd be nice.
It would be.
Maybe a rooted slab.
I'm more wondering if we're going to be able to craft rooted dirt, because there's going to be a lot of want to use that in paths and landscaping and stuff. I'm thinking about Good Times with Scar. I'm pretty sure he can use that block like nobody's business. And if you can't craft it, that means that's a lot of hunting and destroying terrain to get it.
Yeah. I mean, the only way I could see us crafting it is with the roots, the hanging roots that come along with it.
Which means we would want to be able to farm hanging roots.
Yeah. As far as I know, you can't farm those or anything.
what if you could take a rooted dirt and hit it with bone meal, and then hanging roots would appear, and then you could farm the hanging roots and then craft that with dirt to get rooted dirt, and now you have a ecosystem of farmable items, except for dirt, which you still have to go destroy a biome for.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way you do it. Bone meal because it only the roots only develop from the bottom of the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way. We're not sure yet.
You get some cool redstone out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of this is serious. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Don't say, well, DuDs and Jimbo said this and it's not in the game. And it's like,
no.
Come on, guys. You should know that by now. We have no say.
We just have thoughts.
We thinketh.
What's your thought on the glowberries?
Glowberries gets a thumb up.
Yeah.
I think they did it right. Me and Carl were talking, and we were so scared the light level was going to be like 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, but the light level is not insanely bright. Actually, I think it's still like a 14.
Yeah, it is.
So it is bright. It's not like beacon bright where it's 15, but it's a very good light source. So thumbs up. The fact that you can eat it is also cool. Doesn't really give you much hunger back or hunger hunches, whatever you want to call it. So that's a little bit of a downfall because I've been fighting. I want some more food sources in the game.
Mm-hmm. It'd be cool.
At least it is a food source. It's a good emergency food source if you're caving and you run out of food.
Mm-hmm. It'd be cool if you ate it and you glowed a little bit. That'd be a cool feature. Just at night.
I'm actually in the opposite end. I think a lot of people have been saying they want the spectrum arrow effect if you eat glowberries. And I'm kind of against that. Just because I want a normal food source. I want more normal food sources. I don't want another variation of suspicious stew for a food source.
If you're doing PvP, glowberries would be the last thing you eat in that case.
Exactly.
But yeah, the vines, I noticed, you're not going to use that lighting too much on the ground. It's going to be on your walls or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely need a light level of 14 or so to be able to use these.
Before we go any further, I wanted you to read the notes for cave vines and everything so everyone kind of understands what we're talking about.
Oh, we have it.
Yeah, we have cave notes.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk about this first. Okay. Cave vines and glowberries. Cave vines grow down from the ceiling like weeping vines. When they grow, they have a chance to produce glowberries. Glowberries are a natural light source as well as a food source. Foxes eat glowberries. Use glowberries to plant new cave vines, and bone mealing a cave vine will create glowberries.
Perfect.
Don't know how I missed out all that. I asked your thoughts and didn't even bring up the notes.
Yeah. I was like, is Jimbo going to do the smooth transition right here? And it's like, nope, he just forgot to read them.
No, I just waited. Oh, I should have brought up drip leaves. Got your thought on drip leaves. Well, you have those notes. Okay.
We have notes on drip leaves.
So should we talk about the glowberries now?
Yeah. Foxes eating glowberries is cute. It'd be even cuter if I saw a fox jump into a vine to snatch a glowberry.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be really cool.
You think they would?
Uh-huh.
I think that'd be a thing.
The farming circle of life, the fact that you can use a bone meal on a vine to grow glowberries, perfect.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Good with that. It's a good light source. It's as good as a torch, and you don't have to put it on the ground. It can hang up there.
Mm-hmm.
I expect glowberry or not lanterns, but chandeliers to be a thing.
Okay.
And very natural builds. Like I'm thinking in my bee farm room, you know how I have the leaf ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
Where I have leaves that hang down all kinds of finger-like.
Yeah.
Hanging glowberry vines from that would be really cool.
Yeah, be a great use. Now, the foxes that eat the glowberries, I'm curious if that'll make it farmable, just like the berry bushes with the foxes.
Ooh. Well, it all depends if they can grab it from the bush, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they can jump up there and get it. But if you have it low enough,
yeah,
maybe they'll be able to farm for you.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I never really did the fox berry farm.
Me neither.
I just don't think berries have much of a use in the game, really, other than they look pretty. So at that point, you don't need to farm a massive amount unless you're landscaping a huge area.
Right. They do cause damage, but you're never going to use those in a farm as better blocks.
No, there's better ways to do that. let's go on to drip leaf, shall we?
Yes.
All right, so a small drip leaf needs moisture, so it grows on clay or underwater. Small drip leaf grow into big drip leaf when bone mealed. Big drip leaf grows taller when bone mealed. If you stand on a big drip leaf, it will tilt after a while and you will fall. You can crouch or jump to prevent a big drip leaf from tilting. A tilted big leaf or big drip leaf will tilt up again after a while. The big drip leaf will break when hit by a projectile. The wandering trader will sometimes sell small drip leaf plants. That's a lot of drip leaf.
Yeah, you said drip leaf a lot.
Yeah.
But now we all know what it's about. What do you think?
I think the drip leaf was created obviously for the parkour fad that's going around Minecraft. I think its texture is really nice. I do like the texture. I could see maybe an update where we get frogs, and frogs on drip leaf and lily pads would be really cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be a decoration block for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see mini games being built around parkouring drip leaves. But yeah, I mean, it's a plant. It's a plant with a cool feature, but it's a feature that I won't be using much. I like that the Wandering Trader will sell it, even though the Wandering Trader to me is kind of a meh guy.
Mm-hmm.
To see it get an update and the fact that it's selling some of the newer stuff is always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about the drip leaf?
I have the same thing. I probably just going to use it for decoration. Again, you mentioned the parkour aspect of it. That's pretty much all I could see it being used for. I mean, there was a thought that if they were spawnable, these drip leaves, it would be great for mob farms. It would spawn the mob and then just drop them off. It'd be real easy. I doubt that would be a thing if they're spawnable.
Yeah.
Don't know if we know yet. Don't know if it's been brought up or tested, but I doubt it. And again, yeah, I see it as something decorative. It's a pretty cool feature. It's definitely a cool feature.
Well, I mean, now that you've said that, I'm immediately thinking of creeper farms. Like, you would no longer need multiple floors and cats to get the creepers to run off. Because as soon as they spawn, the drip leaf would just tilt and drop them off.
Yep.
Thus opening up the spawning again.
Yep, just the trapdoors above their head. They don't really need to walk anywhere.
Correct. Unless they walk off the drip leaf and that keeps the drip leaf from tilting.
Yeah.
There is that, but yeah, I don't think that would be overpowered in a mob farm.
I don't know. Could see many ways. Like a witch farm, throwing some drip leaves in there.
But if the mob's constantly walking around, it wouldn't tilt the drip leaf.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of spread them out to where they can't walk off.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about mob farms is you want the mobs out of the farm as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. You'd have to spread the drip leaves out, which means not as many spawning places.
Right.
So it would lower the rate of the farm as it is.
Yeah, I guess it could even itself out.
Yeah.
I would like to see it, just see how it works.
Though doing that would take it away as a decoration block for me.
Yeah.
Because now I have to put a light source near it to keep stuff from spawning on it.
That's true. Didn't really think about that.
It's 50-50 up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a useful block. Could just be nice decoration.
Cool block nonetheless.
Let's move on to moss.
Going on to moss. Okay, a couple things here. There's the moss has two new decorative blocks, the moss block and the moss carpet. The moss carpet can be crafted from moss blocks, just like a wool in the carpet.
Yeah.
Similar to that.
It's got a cool texture. It's going to be nice for landscaping, but can we craft moss blocks? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you get the carpets from the block. How do you get the block?
Correct.
That's a good question. I do notice that the moss block has the greenery all around it, all six sides.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to get a resource pack to get the grass to grow on all sides.
Correct.
So that's nice. Usually you have to go with like a powdered green concrete to get that look.
Yeah. Moss carpet, I'm going to assume, is going to act like regular carpet, meaning mobs won't be able to spawn on it.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you could also put a light source under it. Yeah, big question there is, can we craft moss blocks?
Yeah, I hope.
I would hope so too.
How would you?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Like grass? Put grass together?
I don't know.
You would think. Then you'd think it'd make a grass block.
Yeah, maybe like 4 grass blocks could make a moss block.
Mm.
I mean, the obvious answer is moss carpet could craft a moss block, and a moss block could craft moss carpet. But it's kind of like snow, right? You can use snow layers to craft a snow block if you have silk touch. And then I don't know.
Yeah, we know it's useful. We just don't know how.
Well, again, if you have a moss block and you bone meal moss block, will moss carpet show up on top, kind of the way a snow golem walking on a block will create a snow layer?
I did notice that you can bone meal the moss block, actually. I think it was Exuma on his video. He bone mealed grass, or the moss block. It turned the grass into a moss block. I want to say I saw that. Maybe I didn't know.
I can't remember. It's been about a week since this update came out. I should have watched the video again before we started talking about it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, there's something like that because we're just talking about it being renewable, and I think that's it. Can't believe I just now thought of that.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So it would be like the nylium and the nether. If you put one of those next to netherrack, you could bone meal the netherrack and it would grow.
I think that's how it works.
If that's the case, I'm okay with that. That's a good way to do it. It keeps with the way that they've been doing things, especially in the nether update, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and you need another item to get it with, like, bone meal.
Yeah. Shall we move on to Spore Blossom?
Sure.
So a Spore Blossom is a beautiful large flower placed on ceilings and particles drip from it. That's essentially it. It is a big pink or purple, depending on how your eyes work, flower that hangs upside down and little particle driplets will fall. Kind of more than crying obsidian, but not obtrusive, if that makes sense. It's a nice in between.
Yeah, it's pretty much for, looks and particle effects.
Yeah.
If that's what you want. You only get, did you say there's purple and pink?
It depends on who you ask. For me, it's a pink flower.
Yeah, I was thinking pink.
Someone talked to me, said it was purple.
Huh.
So I'm just putting out that depending on your eyes, it's either pink or purple.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get other colors, not just that one.
That would be cool.
But I could understand why there's one.
I'd like to know if I hung this flower from the ceiling and then I put a trapdoor right underneath it, would the particles go through the trapdoor?
I don't know.
My first thought is, like, if you're building a shower in Minecraft, you could put this flower in the ceiling, and obviously it would look like a shower head had particles falling from it.
What's funny is we bring up these scenarios in the show, and it makes me want to test them, like right now. And then after the show, I don't test anything. I don't test nothing.
Yeah.
Just wait for someone to test it. All these questions we have. That's a good one.
I kind of wish you could place the Spore Blossom on the ground, because it is a cool looking texture, and it would really look cool in like a really lush, jungle-ish style build.
Yeah, like an overgrown.
Yeah, maybe have the particles float up so it looks more like insects.
Yeah, you think it's only like useful in like a cave setting. I mean, you're not going to put a flower on your ceiling in your house.
Yeah, unless you're trying to hide it just for the particles.
Yeah, where, the trapdoors would come into play. Yeah, the trapdoor question is pretty key here. Are we going to be able to use these and hide it so it's not all that noticeable? Or what? How's it going to work?
Yeah.
Again, can't test it. Recording the show here.
And again, can we craft this? Or is it just a discoverable item?
Oh, yeah.
That's our question for everything. Can we craft this? Do we gotta go find it?
What is this? Spore Blossom.
Can I farm this item?
Does it blossom? Is it a spore? What is this?
Oh, how cool would it be if it got dark, the blossom would close and no particles would come out of it. And then if you put a light source next to it, it would actually blossom and drop the particles.
Yeah, I like that.
Right?
That'd be a cool idea. I was kind of thinking what you were thinking as soon as I said it,
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, well, there might be something there. But you said it first.
Might be something there.
Yeah, opening and closing would be a cool effect, too. It's already got the particles, so maybe they won't give us that.
Yeah. What about changes in the snapshot?
Yeah, quite a few changes. The Stonecutter can now be used to craft different copper block variants. The stages of copper oxidation are now called copper block, exposed copper block, weathered copper block, and oxidized copper block, in sequence from least to most oxidized. Drow now have a chance of dropping a copper ingot. They no longer drop gold ingots. Added new skulk sensor events and changes to powdered snow.
We will obviously talk about changes to powdered snow in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The Skulk Sensor events is a huge table that I didn't think you want us reading out numbers. So again, we've linked the snapshot in the show notes. If you want to go look at that, you can go look at it. I think they're doing a lot of cool stuff with the Skulk Sensor, and they're trying to incorporate as much as they can into it. So I think it functions fully. GG's on that.
Mm-hmm.
The copper stuff. First, the new names. I like the new names.
Yeah.
I felt with Blackstone, the naming got a little out of hand in the way you would say something. So the way they've done copper, I'm good with. That feels a lot more natural.
Mm-hmm.
And Stonecutter now being able to do copper, I am completely fine with, because obviously that saves materials when making stairs. But I don't think we can call it a Stonecutter anymore.
Right. That's not technically stone.
Right.
Copper is a metal.
Which brings in, why can't we use it for wood and save on stairs for wood?
You think a stonecutter would be more efficient against wood than it would be copper?
You do switch out saw blades for wood and stone and everything like that.
Yeah.
Granted, most stone saw blades has water being thrown on it at the same time to keep the blade cool. But yeah, I think we need to change the name of Stonecutter to like table saw or something like that.
Okay with that.
Or maybe just the cutter. I'm good with that. But I think it's also time that wood now gets used on it too, so we can save on stairs finally.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it made sense when you called it the Stonecutter that you couldn't use wood on it. Sure, little difficult, but now that we're using other materials than stone on it, let's finally throw some wood in there, call it the cutter, and be done with it. I'm glad Copper's using the Stonecutter because it makes sense, but it also makes sense for wood to be used there too now. I think we do it.
And I also love the fact that drowned are now dropping copper.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the copper veins are too big. Every time I've seen one, there's like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have another way to gain those. And gold has become so abundant now that I'm glad that's taken out of the drowned loot table as well.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I went, well, you can't farm drowned to get copper ingots. It's just not going to be very efficient. And then I forgot you could drop a zombie spawner in water and they'll turn to drowned. The question is, do they go ahead and get the drowned loot table? We know that they won't drop tridents that way.
Right.
Will they drop copper that way, though? That's the big question.
That's interesting. Never thought about it like that. Yeah, you can always convert to zombie, but does the loot table convert?
And I'm for that happening.
Yeah.
I don't think it's OP. I think it's OP if you're a player that can play all day and you can do the grind and stuff. But for guys like me and you who work full time, who have an hour a day to play, who have a family at home to take care of and stuff like that, it's nice to be able to fully automate stuff and not have to put in 9 hours to get a copper ingot.
Yeah. They only drop like 1 at a time anyway, so
Right.
I don't think it'd be too OP.
I don't think so. Especially because zombie grinders aren't the most efficient farm to start with anyways. They're kind of a slow farm.
Right.
But you think about all the stuff you can do with copper. It's a very early game block in the fact that, well, you're going to want a lighting rod because you're using wool for your starter house roof.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got to get one of those. And more than likely, the first XP farms most people have are zombie grinders. It's those. I got you. She just started going nuts. So yeah, it works out.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to powdered snow?
Yeah, what are these changes?
So, changes to powdered snow include flaming arrows now get extinguished when they collide with powdered snow. Skeletons now convert to strays when frozen in powdered snow. Powdered snow is now pushable by piston and sticky pistons. Boxes can now walk on top of powdered snow without falling in. Ta-da!
Sounds good.
Yeah?
The thing with the skeletons converting into strays, really like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if the stray is still in that frozen snow, it will take damage.
Yes, which doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, but they say it's not a bug.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's supposed to happen.
Do the strays drop anything other than the
Slowness arrow.
Special arrow? Yeah.
That's all I know of.
Yeah, they don't have any special drops. Same with husks. To me, those are 2 mobs that I felt we didn't need, but now that we have them, it's let's revisit, like Mojang's been doing, maybe adding a little bit, such as dropping sand or clay balls for a husk would be great. The stray, I mean, I don't really know what a stray could drop. That might be cool.
The stray, there should be many different kinds of strays that have all the different arrows. Like, you just never know what stray you're going to run up on. You might have a stray that shoots you with like a healing arrow that does no damage.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you just don't know what kind of stray you're going to run into. That could be a good mending Minecraft discussion.
Yeah. The powder snow being pushable by pistons and stuff. I don't know what exactly effect that's going to have just yet. I am sure there will be some use for it in a redstone farm at some point.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is yet.
Oh, I'm sure.
And foxes are now getting more things they can play with. They're the ultimate troll. They'll steal your sword and run around with it. And now they're going to walk over powdered snow and not fall in, and you're going to chase them down to get your sword back, and you're going to fall through powdered snow.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Foxes are the ultimate troll in Minecraft.
Especially the snow foxes.
Yeah.
They're cute. Stay away from them.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it. That's it for the news. We've covered all of it.
Yeah.
A lot of news.
Got some good details in there.
Mm-hmm. But let's go ahead and jump into listener comments right from the get-go so we can get going, because I'm sure some people are waiting for some mending Minecraft.
Right. This listener comment for this week is from FragileRock, friend of the server. DuDs and Jimbo, you've spoken about mods a bit, but I'd be interested in hearing about what mods you think should just be a part of vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah. Me and you aren't modded players, for sure.
Yeah.
We've dabbled in some stuff. We've never really liked it. To me, mods in general just feel like hey, collect all the items.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
I like the fact that there's more like mobs involved.
Yeah.
On certain mods. I'm all for more mobs in the game, whether passive or hostile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I do like. We play with a lot of resource packs, though.
Yeah, resource packs and data packs.
Data packs, yeah.
One data pack that I think should be in the game already is the mobs drop their heads.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
I forget that that's not vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
So...
yeah, you see it so often in videos and stuff. It's a very popular data pack.
Yeah. Or the Stick God armor stand book.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I would love to see in it. I mean, these are just data packs. They're not actual mods. But any mod that basically boosts food in the game, gives you more options there, I am for. What was it? The bibliotech mod that would give you more furniture, allow actual shelvings and stuff. I kind of like that, but not so much we're going to give you shelves, but allow me to make what I already have there a shelf. Like if you watch any Scrap Mechanic videos, you can just take random items and place it on the ground. It's like, oh, I have all these extra seeds. Blah, just set it on the ground. And it's not going to despawn. It's not going to sit there and bounce and spin like it does in Minecraft. Just having that ability alone would be perfect, because you still have to use your creativity to build a shelf. But now that you've built a shelf, you can actually make it look like a shelf because you can set items on it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Just put something down. Not everything just like disappears when you place it down. We don't really play with mods, there's not many I could really think of.
Yeah.
I did mention before the seasons. I would like seasons, but then again, that's something I would definitely have to play with before deciding on putting that into the vanilla Minecraft game.
Yeah.
Would like to see it, would like to play with it, but I'm really not sure if it needs brought in or not.
That's my problem. I've never seen a mod where I've watched somebody play with it and go, man, I really want to play with that right now.
Yeah.
I haven't ever found one that does that for me. So basically, anything in the game, I just want to plus vanilla a little bit, fill in the gap.
Yeah.
And mods tend to fill in the gap and then sit on it. It's like, here's a bunch of other stuff that I don't find useful.
Yeah, I did get into the Techtopia mod before. Mm-hmm. Actually made a couple videos with it. It's a fun mod, but it would definitely be. It's a whole nother game though. It's not so much a Minecraft. It's a whole nother game. The object is to build the village. some people don't build villages. So it's a game inside the game. It's not so much of a mod you can implement in regular vanilla.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of it. I'm sorry if we didn't answer your question, FragileRock. Like I said, we're not big mod players, but there are aspects we would like from mods to be in the game. One of my biggest problem with mods, though, is every mod pack seems to have the player immediately learn how to fly. And not like elytra gliding flying. Like, I can hover off the ground now.
Yeah.
It's like, that kind of takes away any kind of worry about being attacked. It's like, oh, I can just hover out of your hit range and watch me do this. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, thanks for the comment, FragileRock. That comment was from our Discord, and our Discord is the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Link's word for it.
Hello there, miners and crafters. This is Link. Come and join me on the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with the people that work on the show and other fellow listeners like yourselves. The link is in the show notes. Join today and let's discuss the game we love.
Thanks for the Discord ad link. Speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in Mending Minecraft Vote. This week we ask you to choose between one of 3 mobs for us to discuss and approve. Your choices were Polar Bear, Dolphin, and the Leatherworker.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is Polar Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Polar Bear.
So cuddly.
Yes. The Polar Bear had 43 votes. Dolphin with 19. Leatherworker with 6. He needs a new profession. I need a new profession there.
Yeah.
A few things on the Polar Bear. Polar bears spawn above grass and ice in snowy tundra, snowy mountains, ice spikes, regular and deep frozen ocean biomes in groups of up to 2 at a light level of 7 or higher. If there is a group, the second polar bear is a cub. Drops raw cod and raw salmon along with XP. No drops or XP from killing baby polar bears.
Mm-hmm.
No reason to kill the baby polar bears.
Don't you kill a baby polar bear.
Don't even think about it. Polar bears can exist in a passive or hostile state. The cubs are passive, adults are hostile with cubs or provoked. Polar bears attack foxes, and polar bears cannot breed, and cubs' growth cannot be sped up.
Yeah. Polar bears was a fun one to try to improve because it felt like it just kind of got thrown in and not really got fully fleshed out.
Not much to it.
There's not much to polar bears, which kind of stinks because polar bears are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I would like polar bears to have a bit of personality like pandas. They don't need to obviously be exactly like pandas, but a little personality would be nice. Like, I know if you go visit a polar bear in the zoo where I live, that polar bear loves his ball. He chases that ball around. He throws himself the ball all the time. It's awesome and adorable to see this huge 600-pound animal chase a basketball. But it loves the basketball, so it's awesome. Another thing is, polar bears are great swimmers. Like, they can swim forever.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen a polar bear really swim. I've seen some kind of get stuck in the water and they just kind of float there.
Yeah, bob up and down.
Yeah, giving polar bears the ability to swim would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They have really good senses of smell. Like, they can straight up smell over a mile away.
Wow.
Which is insane. So I thought it would be cool of maybe a player can drop a fish and walk away. So it's just a random item on the ground. And if a polar bear is near, he'll walk up to the fish. So you could technically lure polar bears without doing the normal, I have an item you want to eat in my hand, or leading an item. It seems like a more humane way to kind of lure polar bears, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like it.
One of the final thing is they also eat kelp as a supplemental meal. So polar bears' main source of food, whatever, is like seals or seal carcasses and stuff. But turns out, so they hunt for maybe half of their lives, but they're only successful on the hunt 2%, which means they're really bad at hunting.
Yeah.
But it also means they need to find other stuff to eat. And it turns out kelp is one of those things that they actually eat, at least from what the World Animal Foundation website thing I found. So it would kind of cool to see a polar bear swim in the water and break a kelp and eat it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just give it more life.
Especially swimming. You'd think they could swim. I do like that.
Yeah.
I kind of have a problem with you not being able to breed them.
Right?
There's really, I guess there wouldn't be really a reason to breed them unless you want a bunch of polar bears.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much function to them.
Right.
Which I would argue I would love to ride a polar bear. I would love to ride
Yep.
one. Now, there could be, just issues with that, getting kids to think that they can ride polar bears and stuff from playing the game. There could be issues on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice. It'd be nice to have a polar bear pet, a companion that's a freaking bear.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, we have polar bears, we have panda bears. It'd be nice to get like a black bear or a grizzly bear that roam the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they
No
go
end
after bees. Yes.
No end in.
Maybe they can harvest the honeycombs for you, grizzly bears.
The grizzly bears and honeycomb and bee's nest would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit that, just for the cartoony fact of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should definitely have more bears in the game. Maybe give polar bears a little bit more function, because right now they're just there to look at.
Right.
You can't really do much with them. And honestly, I'm okay with them just being there to look at. If they were a bit like pandas and had some more personalities, or they did stuff and moved around and such. So.
Oh, I would love to see them swimming and, going after kelp. Maybe they can hold kelp in their mouth or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some kind of animation gives them a little more function, I think.
Yeah.
You're not gonna kill the bear for fish. There's way too many, ways to get fish than
Exactly.
killing a polar bear.
Yeah. Or if you could, okay, again, this runs into you don't want kids doing this in real life, but at some point kids need to understand what's a game and what's not a game.
Right.
If you could tame a polar bear and it brings you fish,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that could be really cool.
No, you can't kill a polar bear with like fire aspect and expect to cook fish. It's going to be raw every time. That's one thing.
Yeah.
They mention on the wiki. I feel like should mention that also.
I don't think you should be killing polar bears. Anyways, if you see a polar bear with a cub, keep your distance.
Mm-hmm.
If there's not a cub, then you can get a little closer and mess around with it. Just don't punch the polar bear, because it will eat you.
Yeah, like I said, there's no reason to kill it. Just I wish there was more function so you can interact with it a little bit more. That's all.
Yeah, same. We have a quick topic, but I'm thinking we should save that for the post show, because we are running a little bit long right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Omni, Chief Big Bear, Croc, FragileRock, O-Beep, Stonefigure, the official CCL, Vipers, Tuna, and YT. If you too would like to get access to the exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
If you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.